When the day begins, we all find lots of work to do. There are materials to locate, change orders to handle, and those ever-present deadlines to hit. After all, time is money, and someone's always watching the bottom line. But if we rush through what we're doing and aren't careful, we could cause an accident and perhaps a serious injury. Sure, we've got to get the job done, but the real bottom line is doing the job safely. That's where the phrase safety first comes in. It means that working safely is the top priority, our primary goal. We need to learn to take precautions, protect ourselves from hazards, prevent accidents, and prepare for emergencies. Before you begin a task, you have to be mentally prepared to work safely, no matter how simple or routine the job may seem. Concentration is the key. If you give the task your full attention, you're much less likely to make a mistake that causes an accident. There are a number of things that can obstruct our focus. Anger and frustration are two of the culprits. They can cloud your mind and impair your judgment. A decision made in the heat of the moment could have disastrous consequences. If you feel frustrated or angry, take a break. Step back and take a deep breath, or switch to another task for a while. You can resume your original work when you're calm and in the right frame of mind. Substance abuse has become a major problem on many work sites. Drugs and alcohol have no place in the workplace. They can alter your state of mind and ability to focus on what you are doing. You have to be careful about what you do on your own time as well. The residual effects of a substance can cause someone to have an accident hours or even days after they last used the substance. If you drink, do it in moderation and don't drive. Make sure the effects of any alcohol you have had are long gone before you start to work. Know your company's drug and alcohol policy and follow it. Inform your supervisor immediately if you suspect a coworker is under the influence. And never climb ladders, operate equipment, or use power tools if you're taking medication that could negatively affect your performance. Keep your mind clear, concentrate, and be aware of everything that goes on around you. Then you'll be mentally prepared to work safely. Preventing accidents is another important part of making safety our top priority. Most hazards can be spotted and eliminated before they become a problem. Inspect your work area. Look for trouble spots that could endanger you or your coworkers. Then take steps to remove or reduce the risk of an accident. For example, walkways should be kept clear of obstacles at all times. A simple pile of scrap or a tool that's been left behind could cause someone to trip and fall. Look out for fire hazards as well. Sparks from power tools or damaged electrical cords, even piles of cardboard or paper can all be sources of ignition. Correct situations like these as soon as possible. As you reach the end of your shift, you still have some safety work to do. Good housekeeping is also important for accident prevention. Tidy up your work area, properly dispose of scrap, and return extra materials to their assigned storage places. Put all tools and equipment back where they belong as well. This eliminates clutter and makes things easier for everyone to find. Some situations don't have simple solutions. If you encounter a problem that you can't solve yourself, talk to your supervisor or safety manager. They are there to help. Looking out for potential problems and reducing risks can help us to prevent accidents, but there's more to the equation. Gloves, safety shoes, and other personal protective equipment are often necessary to help keep us out of danger. Let's start at ground level and work our way up. Foot protection, usually safety shoes, is needed on many job sites. Most safety shoes have soles that are designed for safe traction in specific conditions, such as on oily or wet surfaces. Many shoes have steel toes as well. You need to choose the best shoe for the job and wear it. Gloves can improve your grip and protect your hands from potential hazards such as sharp edges, chemicals, and splinters. Gloves can be made from many types of materials, including cloth, leather, metal mesh, rubber, and plastic. Each protect you from different things, so make sure to use the right glove for the job that you are doing. Sometimes eye protection may seem bulky and unnecessary, but remember, eye injuries can be nasty, far more uncomfortable than safety eyewear itself. Safety glasses and goggles protect against a variety of hazards. In certain situations, you may also need to add a face shield or a welder's helmet. Ask your supervisor about the type of protection you'll need for your job. Hearing protection can reduce or eliminate the harmful effects of hazardous noise. Earplugs, canal caps, and earmuffs all provide different degrees of protection. If necessary, you can use both plugs and muffs in extremely noisy situations. When harmful dust, fumes, and vapors make the air dangerous to breathe, respiratory protection is what we need. Respiratory hazards can do serious damage. Fortunately, there are a number of types of protection that can help. Filter masks and chemical cartridge respirators protect you from different types of hazards, so you should first determine what kind of protection you need for the job that you're doing. In many cases, a dust mask will be the right choice. It does a good job stopping things like sawdust and plaster dust from getting into your nose and mouth. If you're working with especially heavy concentrations of dust, hazardous chemicals, or asbestos, a cartridge respirator may be required. When you select your equipment, make sure that it's undamaged. If you're unfamiliar with the equipment, it's a good idea to practice using it before going into your work area. And remember, a good, strong hard hat is essential around overhead hazards. Keep in mind, most tasks have multiple hazards, so combine safety gear for maximum protection. Talk to your supervisor about the PPE that's right for you. The way you do your job is just as important as the safety precautions that you take. Careless habits can have devastating consequences. Tools, where would we be without them? But use a tool incorrectly and somebody could get hurt. Always use the right tool for the job and make sure you know how to properly use the tools that you work with. Power tools and other electrical equipment require special considerations. Inspect power cords before use. A damaged wire is both a shock hazard and a fire risk. And don't create an octopus. Too many plugs in one outlet or extension cord can overload a circuit, blow out a fuse, or even start a fire. Remember to unplug or lock out electrical equipment before attempting repairs. If you forget, you may get a shocking reminder. If you're working with equipment that has exposed moving parts, make sure the appropriate guards are in place. Remove loose clothing and jewelry that could get caught in the equipment as well. But safe work practices go beyond how we use tools and equipment. We need to be careful how we use our bodies as well. Each job makes a different set of demands. Knowing how your body moves can help you to avoid ergonomic problems. Keep your body in neutral positions as much as possible. Select tools that are ergonomically friendly and whose weight, size, and shape make them easy to use. Position yourself to minimize any stretching or twisting to reach what you're working on. Keep tools and materials within easy reach. When you're lifting something, be sure to use proper technique. Bend at the knees, keep your back straight, and lift with your legs, smoothly, not suddenly. If you're ever unsure about how to use a piece of equipment or perform a task, talk to your supervisor. No matter how careful we are, no matter what precautions we take, accidents still happen. So we have to be prepared to act if an emergency occurs. Read the material safety data sheets for any hazardous materials in your area before you work with them. MSDSs should be kept in a central location for quick reference. Clean up any chemical spills immediately, but be careful. Make sure you know what chemicals you're dealing with and the tools and materials that should be used in the cleanup process. Water is almost always the first line of defense when someone is splashed by a hazardous chemical, so know where the nearest source of water is on your work site. If a chemical splashes onto your skin or into your eyes, rinse the affected area for at least 15 minutes, then get medical attention. Fires are another major threat on many work sites. Nowadays, they can involve toxic fumes and vapors, which makes them more dangerous than ever. You can sometimes fight small fires and prevent them from spreading, so know where the fire extinguishers are on your work site and how to use them. Remember, there are different types of extinguishers for different types of fires. Be sure that you have the correct one for the fire that you're fighting. But don't try to fight a fire if it's getting out of hand. Call 911 and let the fire department handle it. And know at least 2 evacuation routes that you can use if you ever need to leave your work area. Basic first aid and CPR can be valuable skills in many emergency situations, but don't try anything unless you have the proper training. You could do more harm than good. Never underestimate the seriousness of an injury. Seek medical attention as soon as possible. Above all, the key to handling emergency situations is to stay calm. Well, that brings us to the end of your orientation to safety. Let's review. Mental preparation is important. Concentrate, stay alert, and be aware. Focus on accident prevention. Look out for hazards and remove them. Use the correct PPE for the job that you are doing. Follow safe work practices. Use proper procedures and eliminate careless habits. And remember to prepare yourself for emergencies. If we all work together and look out for each other, we can't help but make safety our top priority.